Thank you for returning to Crafty Crafts. Today we're going to paint this beautiful peacock. So let's get started. Alright, lovelies. So the first step we're going to do is we're going to paint the background green. A winter green or a kiwi green. Not a kiwi green. Anything that's kind of brighter and lighter, because we're going to have the darker ones go on top. Let me just fix you here a little. I'm going to use the winter green over here, as well as some of the kiwi green. I'm going to blend them in together. You can use one color or multiples. And if you want to paint the edges while you're painting the background, go ahead. Otherwise, just wait, because it might be a different color once we start painting our actual peacock. So, go ahead and get your background green and let it dry. Pick yourself out a couple of nice blue shades, a darker one and a couple of lighter ones, and a couple of darker shades of green, and we'll get started as soon as it dries. Alright, darlings, so now that the background is settled, we're going to take a brush. It doesn't have to be a detail brush. And we're going to take the darker blue. We're going to be using cobalt blue for this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go 3/4 up, and we're going to almost draw like a pink point or a vase. No, a bowling pin or a vase. You can fix the lines as you go, but go ahead and paint that blue in, and this will be the body of the peacock, and give it a little beak at the end. Alright, so right now we're going to work on the peacock's details. So right now we're going to take the medium color blue, which for us is the bright blue that I'm using today, and we're going to go to this end where the tail should be. And we are just going to put little circles, one on each other, to start the tail process. And we'll weave in there, you can weave in there some of the darker blue from the cobalt blue, a little bit. But try to make it circular as much as you can, and you don't need a lot of them, only a couple of rows. And then we're going to take a detail brush, and we're going to pick up some white when you're done with that. So with the white, we're going to detail the face for the peacock with the white, specifically where the eye is going to go. So we're not going to worry about the beak right now, but from the beak up to most of the head, from both sides. And then we're gonna color it in white. And then when that dries, we're gonna put some black in there for the eye. But as far as the actual beak go, we're gonna take like a beigeish brown and we're gonna go over it on the beak. And we're gonna take a little bit of a darker color and detail the beak a little bit later. Alright, how we doing? So the way we're going to detail the beak is we're just going to draw a line to go through it a little bit to make sure we can tell the top and the bottom. And we're just going to put a little dot there for the nostril.
Oh my god!
And the white is taking a little longer to dry, so I will return to that momentarily. But for right now, we'll go back to the cobalt blue with a detail brush. And we're going to give our peacock a little bit of a crown, some hair. Looks like spikes. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but we're having a king peacock, so a king crown for the king peacock. And let the color fade away at the end. Don't keep it all in the dark. Let it fade away a little bit to blend in. And then around, we're going to paint little circles for the eyes, for the feathers. And then we're going to paint with a darker green some looking grass for the feathers as well. But for right now, we're going to let that dry. And then we'll come back and finish the eye and start on the feathers. Alright, my darlings. So now that everything's dry, we're going to take a detail brush and some dark gray or black. And we're going to work on the eye for our peacock. So, using a detail brush, take a tiny bit, and we're going to put a line and a circle. And the circle is going to be our eye. And you can make it as big or small as you want. And then the line from the other side. And then we're going to come in with a little bit of white and do a little dot of white on it and a little bit when it dries. I'm going to take a little bit of blue and cover here because I feel like it's a little too much white. And blend it in with the other blue that already got dried so it doesn't look too bad. Alright. So now, while this dries, we're ready to start making the peacock's feathers. So this is going to be very easy. We're going to use a dark blue, the dark blue, the middle shade blue, as well as the green, yellow, pink, and the light blue. So we're going to start with the dark blue. And we're just going to pick a spot and draw a circle. Just like that. And from that, we're going to take the medium shade blue and we're going to draw a little bit coming out of it. And from there, I'm going to use the kiwi green because it's a little lighter. We also used the kiwi green when we did the background. I'm just going to put a little bit over here on one side. And then come and put a stripe or two on the bottom of the blue. Then I'm going to take the pink, which I'm using a magenta color right now. And I'm going to come around and kind of trace both blue and the green from about the middle of the blue, come around to the entire green and go around the darker blue, but not quite till the end. And from there on, I'm going to take a little bit of yellow and attach it to the one side of the pink that we started with, and go kind of around like a V. And I'm gonna zoom in on this in a minute when we do another one, that way we can see exactly what I'm talking about. And then the lighter blue is going to go on top of everything else. So let's do another one right up here. I'm going to zoom in for you on this area so you can see what I'm doing. But let me take a little bit of a dark blue and put a little bit over here so we see and we know where we're going to start. And I'm going to go now and stop you guys so I can zoom in on it, and then it will restart you. So that blue dot right there next to the head is where we're going to start another one. And that blue that's already there will be our starting point, and you can play around with it. You can go from the darker to the lighter like we did, or you can go from the darker to the lighter this way. So why don't we do one of those right now? Okay, we already have the darker blue, so now it's the medium blue. And you don't need a lot of paint, just a little bit can go a long way. But you want to make it look like a teardrop, because that's what the feathers would look like for the eye. And this time I'm actually going to take a little bit of the lighter blue and come around down here to cover that. Now I'm going to take that magenta color and trace that lighter blue all the way up. And I'm going to pick up on the kiwi. And I'm going to use the kiwi and the yellow up top this time, coming into the middle. And it's okay to let the colors blend together. If they blend together, it will only look more natural. So that looks good. So just play with the colors. You should have a few of them around, and then we will return. I'm probably going to do 1, 2, 3, maybe 6 more around the peacock. And I will keep you guys on so you can see what I'm talking about and what I'm doing. But you can do your own thing and play with the colors. Alright, lovelies, once you got as many eyes for the feathers as you want, I'm gonna use those 5 for the sake of this video, but once you got and painted as many as you want, it's time to finish off the feathers and finish off our painting. So choose a darker green, either a winter green or Kelly green or Christmas green, something that's a little just a little bit darker. And go ahead and get a detail brush, and what we're going to do is we're just gently going to draw in like grass looking feathers, and definitely let it blend in to your eyes and let it blend in to the background and your peacock itself. And let the color, once the color finishes off your brush, let it fade into your painting. Don't try to put too much color into it. Just let the color fade naturally, and then slightly dip in for some more and do it all over again. But don't just put green lines everywhere. Try to make a certain pattern around. Now once you are satisfied with that, I'm probably gonna end up putting a couple more tears or eyes up here. But once you're satisfied with the way your peacock looks, you are all fine, you're all great. Go ahead and let it dry, pick it up and paint all the borders, and then you are done. So thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're going to try this out, take a picture of it and attach it below so I can see what you came up with.